all, thank you to the folks at the other end of this square who are occupying Seattle. Thank you to Occupy Wall Street. Thank you to all of us in the 99% who have the courage to raise our voices, the courage to tell the truth. The American economy is broke for the 99%. It's not broke for the 1%. There is no shortage of wealth, and what we have is not a deficit crisis, and it's not a budget crisis. It's a crisis of leadership, and it's a crisis of conscience. That the 1% feel they are so entitled to every last dime produced by the sweat of the brows of Americans that it's just not okay for the rich to get richer and the middle class to get richer and the poor to get richer all together. It's not okay for the rising tide to lift all boats. They want to steal it all, laugh all the way to the bank, give themselves bailouts and bonuses while the rest of us get pink slips and foreclosure notices, and we're here to say enough is enough. Just think about it. Imagine it was 1976. Imagine that Gerald Ford and Jimmy Carter were running for president, and one of them said, "My fellow Americans, we are going to continue to be the richest economy in the world. We're going to lead a technological revolution that's going to create untold sums of wealth, and all of it's going to go to the top 1%. We're going to make college unaffordable for working class kids. We're going to gut the funding for our schools. We're going to bust the unions. We're going to offshore manufacturing. We're going to eliminate pensions. We're going to destroy Medicare and Social Security." Whoever said it, whether they were a Democrat or a Republican, not only would they have lost that election, their party would have been out of power for a generation. Instead, we have seen politicians of both political parties collaborating through malice and negligence and corruption to produce all of those same outcomes today. The good news is that that's not the end of the story, because at this point, the hero of this story, the American middle class, and those who dream of being in the American middle class, have got to rise up and take our government back from those special interests who broke the economy, stole all the wealth, and said that the 99% forget about sharing in the shared prosperity of our nation. What is great about this country is that it got better every generation. We didn't start so good. There was slavery, there was smallpox, there was short life expectancies, and women couldn't vote. But we had a dream of liberty and justice for all, and we made it more and more real every year for 200 years, until a handful of people got so greedy they just couldn't stand for it anymore. And we are here to say that enough is enough. I'm about to close, but I want to just, someone asked me, how can you possibly be optimistic? How can you have hope? Why is it worth protesting? Why is it worth demonstrating? Why is it worth blogging and tweeting? Don't they just have too much power and too much wealth? Yeah. How can we ever beat them? Well, I know how we can beat them. We did it in the 30s when the American labor movement rose up and created a middle class. We did it in the 60s and 70s when people rising up ended segregation, ended legal gender discrimination, stopped an unjust war. We saw it done in New York when they passed a gay marriage bill just 2 months ago. And most important, just think about this. If you think taking on Chase Bank and Wells Fargo and the politicians they done bought and paid for is hard, think about what happened in Egypt. Think about it. Through acts of simple, peaceful courage and solidarity, the citizens of Egypt this very year ended a 40-year dictatorship through mobilizing around two simple, powerful words: Mubarak, go! So I suggest we have some powerful words of ourselves we can organize around and commit simple, peaceful acts of strength and solidarity till we change our country. Wall Street, enough! Washington, D.C., listen! We are the 99%. We need good jobs now. Pass the American Jobs Act. Do it tomorrow, Congress. Do it tomorrow. We're the 99%, and this is what democracy looks like. Thank you very much.